Hi, today we will be seeing a new topic which is popular notions about the discipline of psychology. Notions. What is meant by a notion? It can be a thought, a concept, a sentiment, or any opinion. Generally, this topic we will be dealing about the common notions, like we will be generating some opinions based on our day-to-day experiences. But how psychologists see these opinions in different way, how they study these opinions, whether these opinions are correct or not. If they are correct, can we generalize these things to the common public? Generally, common sense or the common opinions which based on our day-to-day experiences are really unique. They may be different for different persons. It may be different in west, different to west, east and west. So based on day-to-day experiences or uh, based on these things, we cannot generalize these. But how can, as we say, psychology is a scientific study and it is a separate discipline. And generally, we take psychology as a scientific discipline. We explain everything in a scientific basis manner. So, how can it be different? So, let us see this topic in uh, in a scientific manner. So, how common opinions or common notions are different from psychological study, or how psychologists see this common behavior or common notions. Generally, we say things birds flock together, birds of same feathers flock together, all glitters are not gold. Like these type of common phrases we will be hearing day to day. So in this session, we will try to differentiate them or examine them, how they, whether they are correct or not, and we will see it scientifically. So without any delay, let's go into the topic. So moving further, there is a common notion like everybody is a psychologist. Can everybody is a psychologist? Maybe, because every person has the ability to understand other person. So that is how we react to the other person. When the other person is angry, we will also there is a chance of reacting to that anger. When the other person is in pain, we may react to that person, or we will show some empathy to that person. So in that way, as a person can understand the behavior of other person or a living being, then anybody can be a psychologist, right? Maybe, but no, because it is not a scientific study. Every person may not be scientifically understanding the other person. That's how psychologists are different. They understand scientifically, they think critically. That is how there are. Let us see a few uh, important differences, significant differences between common opinions and a psychologist. As we already know and we have seen in the previous sessions, that psychology refers to the scientific study of mental processes, experiences, and behavior. And when when it comes to the common sense, it is a opinion framed on the experience of that particular person. When coming to the psychology, it is a scientific study where common sense is not a scientific study. And there is a, when we consider psychology, we will study it as a discipline or a separate discipline or a subject. But when we see common sense, it is not a separate subject. It is a feeling, an experience, an opinion based on our two experiences. When coming to the conclusion, generally, when if we come to the psychology, The opinions or the facts based on scientific study is a proven thing, but it is common sense. It is just based on previous experience, and it doesn't follow any experimental method, right? And psychology has a clear theoretical basis, experimental basis, but whereas a common sense, there may be no theoretical or common sense basis. So, moving forward, there is what we can understand is that everyone has his own theory of behavior, because, as we said, discussed, common sense is unique to every person. There may be chances that every person has his own theory, like own understanding. That is how positive people uh, see the world in a different way, and the people which do not see positive in any aspect see the world in a different way. There is positive and negative. There may be neutral things also. There are three dimensions for any aspect. So, coming going forward, generally, what happens is that to perform better, fast, we need a push. So, is it correct? Maybe. Because some people may need a push. Those who have less experiences, uh, less educational or knowledge base, may need some more knowledge or practice to have the knowledge or wisdom to deal any particular situation. So in that way, uh, to move from the to perform better than the previous situation, we need some new learning. So that is how a psychologist can help you in new learning. So, as we already saw that common sense versus scientific investigation, let us see few examples. See, generally in during before Christ or before Common Era, there is a notion called sun rotates around the earth and earth is flat. See these examples, which were true at earlier, but after scientific study, they may be proved wrong. And today, we believe what we are seeing, right? So, based on scientific investigation, there may be uh, several things which are commonly we may relate to, but they will be proven wrong on scientific study. Let us see another example where two people, if you see such popular statements, there is also, let us see another example. If there are two close friends and unfortunately are based on environmental conditions, if they part from each other, there may be chances that if any person gets a new friend, the other person may move from that particular friend. There are other chances that the other person may not forget this person and move. So in this type, we cannot generalize things. In another example, there may be chances that one person may part and the other person may not know. There are really several conditions we can discuss this topic. This example. So we may not know what is a common or a base like common sense works on. So psychologists, we will see everything in an empirical method, scientific method, and examination purpose, theoretical basis. In that way, that's how psychology works. As we saw, distance makes the heart grow further, fonder, may not be true. So moving forward, scientific knowledge generated by psychology often runs against common sense. Based on all above things, where common sense has failed, Definitely, scientific knowledge or psychological knowledge is opposite to the common sense, right? But may not be in all the cases, but most of the cases it was proved wrong. There was also another experiment we will see in this, where Dweck, Carol S. Dweck is an American psychologist, and Dweck is known for the work on the mindsets of psychological traits. In this example, she is one of the greatest living psychologists today. You may also Google her for more details. In this, for a scientific study, what she did is that in 1975, she thought of a hypothetical statement that children who give up too easy when faced with difficult problems or any failure. Based on this statement, she tried to conduct an experiment on 25 students, dividing them into two groups. So, what is her point of research and study? Common sense tells us to give them easy problems in order to increase their success rate so that their confidence goes up. Generally, what happens in normal training, like they will try with the easy exercises and then go with the tougher ones or harder ones. But this is a common notion or common sentiment, common thinking process of a human being. But what proved in this experiment is that when first group of students were given easy problems and immediately given tougher problems, they normally fail because easy problems they can solve and tougher problems they may stop. And to the other group, they were given mixed problems like easy and difficult, both in a same set of questionnaire, and then administered the test. So then how the students react is that they, after some trials, they felt difficulty. So then what happened? At the end of the experiment, students were given a feedback that you never tried up to your mark. So those who were given easy exercise give up things easily. But when people of mixed treatment or mixed experience, they may try and then go forward in life. In that case, the experiment proved the common sense of common theoretical basis, like starting with the easy ones and going forward may not be true every time. And coming to there are also some other notions like women may not perform as equal to the men. Today we see many women take men, uh, overcoming men in many areas. They are becoming entrepreneurs, they are becoming bankers, they are becoming business enthusiasts, tycoons, etc., etc. So, moving forward, it is the case study which we have discussed. Beliefs and understanding change with time. Yes, we discussed the statements like women are not equal to man, or women are not physically strength as man. Women are mentally strength than man. These are the type of common notions we attribute to gender or any physical substance. But what we were thinking previous is not correct today. What we think correct today may not be right tomorrow. So change is a very must thing. Every human being has to be ready. When we see the emergency situations today, we never expected this type of emergency would occur in India or any part of the world. But today it happened. So we have to adopt the change. That is, in that manner, though we have some common statements or common experiences, psychological study or scientific study will try to change it every day, and we have to adapt to the good of living. Okay, so that's how this topic, psychology as a notions about discipline of psychology, popular notions about the discipline of psychology. there is a clear difference between common understanding and scientific understanding. When you go to psychologist, he will definitely administer scientific methods and come to the conclusions. But so we got to understand that everybody cannot be a psychologist, and to become a psychologist, there should be a scientific study. And psychologists are different from other uh, experts in this way. Okay, so that's how we end up the day, and we will see a new topic to tomorrow in the next session. And please do consider performing the exercises and activities which were given in the textbook, and that's how we end up the day. If you have any queries, please write to the respective mail ID and we will discuss them tomorrow. Thank you so much.